This morning's Coffee With is with Ben Mankiewicz.
And the satellite interview is furnished by TCM. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben, welcome to WJZ in the Morning Edition. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're going to bring home a point. I'm going to let the audience in on something. We wear these earpieces, okay? This is how we hear. We can't, because of feedback in the microphones, we can't have a speaker live in either studio. Ben's got one, we've got one. Lynn broke hers. And
got this. What is this?
It looks like an old transistor radio headphone that you would have worn in the 60s, but Ben, I just related it in terms of a movie. This is how the impact movies has on us. It looks like the hearing aid that Burgess Meredith wore playing Mickey the Trainer in Rocky. This is how much movies are a part of the fabric of our lives. Comment on that.
That's right. That's a great call. I mean, I love movies about television almost more than any other movie. I mean, you know, especially the particularly prescient ones. You know, A Face in the Crowd with Andy Griffith from Elia Kazan, written by Bud Schulberg. Everybody who watches cable news now ought to watch A Face in the Crowd just to be amazed that 60 years ago, Elia Kazan thought that this is where we were headed with politics and television, and then also just to see Andy Griffith in such a great dramatic role. But yeah, I mean, movies imprint on our lives in a way that nothing else does. You know, because it's both the spoken word and it's visual. And it creates a lasting impression. When those movies connect with us emotionally, as a movie like Rocky did, it stays with you. And then as you move through your life and you have little incidents like Lynn does, where she savagely breaks a piece of valuable station equipment, you're going to think of a movie like Rocky.
So TCM is doing this Summer Under the Stars. It's, 31 different stars profiled over the course of 31 days. Tell us more about what we can tune in and see.
Well, that's really it. It's a very simple but very effective programming idea. We've done it for 16 years now. We've got 31 stars, and we give them 24 hours worth of movies, so all day and all night. And, from huge stars, we have John Wayne, Cary Grant, Elizabeth Taylor, Marilyn Monroe on the schedule this year, Elvis Presley also. But we've also got some lesser-known stars. One of my favorite actresses is today Eleanor Parker. She was a 3-time Best Actress Oscar, known as the Woman of a Thousand Faces. She could play almost any role, and in fact she sunk into those roles so deeply, and she was so immersed in them that she became less of a star than she probably would have been if she'd been more easily identifiable as a beautiful Hollywood actress. But Sidney Poitier also. We had a huge range of stars, and we mix it up every year, although people like John Wayne and Cary Grant, Humphrey Bogart, who's not on the list this year, they tend to find their way into the program.
Do you kind of make this list throughout the course of the year? Maybe just keep a note page on your smartphone, or do you get a bunch of folks and have a few beers and sit around and say, who are we doing this year?
It's a combination of that. We have a programming department, and they make these choices, and they know who we've picked in the past, and they know in the limited, we, unlike you and nearly everybody else in television, we don't have commercials, so we don't have to worry about, who does better. That said, we have our own metrics for determining what works, and we know that people respond to big movies and big stars. That's why. But we also have this dedicated, passionate fan base that wants to see first-time people on Summer Under the Stars. We have 16 actors, I think, this year. I may have that number slightly wrong, who are appearing for the first time on Summer Under the Stars, including Ricardo Montalban, as we continue to talk about. We're talking about Andy Griffith. There's Ricardo Montalban from Fantasy Island, another late television star who was a movie star first. Leslie Caron making her first appearance on Summer Under the Stars, which surprised me a bit. George Sanders, his first appearance on Summer Under the Stars. So it's a mix of first-timers and maybe a couple of character actors in there, and then certainly we'll have 6 or 7 big stars throughout the month also.
Out of sight. Turn of movies. Ben, it's great to have you on the show. Love your work, love your dedication to the art form of the movie, and thank you so much for being with us and putting up with Lynn, you did great.
I did okay.
Yeah.
I can hear fine.
Yeah, I just wanted to say before I go, thank you very much, Marty, and thank you very much, Lynn. You were great too.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
Right. Excellent. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. That was good. You did good.
Yeah, this does work.
Look,
It's cumbersome, but it works.
Look, in the 60s, when the boomers grew up on rock and roll, that's what we stuck in our ear. That's how we heard the Beatles.
You can feel it.